You've stayed up with the times, you know that awesome or big time will get the point across as in, that was an awesome evening segment I just saw. Well, here are some other phrases you want to know if you want to be sure to sound hip in the 90s.
Yo, a greeting.
Yo, Curb, what's up?
Clutch the pearls, said in amazement or disbelief.
Well, you know he's married.
Clutch the pearls.
Bucked. In the 80s, it was just wasted.
I don't know how many I had, but boy, did I get bucked. I sure felt it the next morning. That was really the worst thing I'd ever done.
I hope you didn't drive home.
No way.
MacGyver, as in the TV show where the impossible is often accomplished.
I can't believe you got off that speeding ticket. What a MacGyver.
Norville, to secretly undermine.
What? I can't believe she stole your job. You've really been Norville.
Black & Decker, or a real tough assignment. You get the analogy, right?
This job is a real grind. It's just a Black & Decker.
Some phrases may be around forever.
Well, look, I gotta run. Peace.
Bye, Tom.
One last word for words of the 90s. You got to remember that hip slang changes rather quickly, so if you want to use any of these phrases, you better use them in a hurry. I mean, think of Bart Simpson. Cowabunga is dreadfully out of date, horribly out of style, and you don't want to appear bizotic, do you?
I love this show.
Welcome to the show. So,
that shit was fat. It was all that and a bag of chips.
yeah. Oh wait,
Wrong. You're way too in the
off, right?
future.
Wait, my
As
bad.
if.
I don't remember the 90s slang.
Well, I'll tell you right now, it wasn't bodacious.
Dude,
No, duh.
It was actually, in fact,
all that in a bag
bogus.
of, was it all that in a bag of chips?
I just said that.
Did you?
I did.
Oh, I wasn't listening. Oh my god.
Cha-ching.
You're such a poser.
Yeah. Chill out, bro.
Yeah.
Those were all slangs from our time period, supposedly. But you know what? I never used the word Norville.
Yeah, never.
I never heard of that.
That was not the bomb.
The bomb, right?
Sorry, every other word I'm using. Okay, sorry, that's not 90s, bro.
Really? It's not 90s? I thought it was 90s.
No, that was post 2000.
Oh, wow.
Still.
Yeah,
Still.
that was like 2002, 2003.
Really? No,
Uh-huh.
it wasn't.
It sure was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah. Remember the
Budweiser?
wasabi, with, like the final
Oh,
the one,
yeah,
wasabi.
Or no,
Wasabi.
wait. Did the frogs right? What?
Budweiser.
No, that's 90s. Those were 90s.
Yeah, there we go. Bud.
Wise.
Stir.
There you go.
Bud.
Sorry, you got me drinking my Monster. Monster.
Mon.
Dude, it's funny. No, shut up. We're not doing that.
Yeah, done. Knock it off.
Knock it off, dude. Stop. Slang changes, but all those slangs didn't they? I never Norville Buck.
My bad.
Did you ever use bucked?
Okay.
No, wait, not you. You're new.
asking your
I'm
son that.
asking my son. Isaac, have you ever used bucked?
He was swimming somewhere else in the 90s.
They do use some weird slang these days, and I'm
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like,
The slang now is nothing compared to that.
nah, dude. Now it's really, really
Oh
evolved.
man, I should run my son.
Well, what they call it now, some of it is brain rot. Is what they like. You know, there's
yeah.
there's your traditional like puns, and then there's like the brain rot stuff. You know, like mewing and like sigma and
Riz.
Yeah, and skibbity. And I guarantee you, within the next 6 months, that stuff's also going to be outdated because that's just how fast language moves.
Yeah.
I mean, but some of it will stand the test of time because that's what happens.
Give us some slang.
Just everything he said. I mean,
Give me something.
it's just Sigma, Alpha. There's the mewing, like he said.
And when people say mewing, they do this.
What does that
Or
mean?
there's
That-
skibbity.
Hey, you know what? My son did that. I was wondering, what's with you and your jaw? Why do you keep pointing at your jaw?
What does that
he's
mean?
What does that mean?
Because
What
he's
does
It means he's mewing.
Because it was basically think about it like well the term comes from like there was a meme of somebody called a giga chad, so chad being a good looking guy, giga meaning like the apex of it, and so essentially the jaw, think of the dude from Family Guy, not Family Guy,
Quagmire?
No, not Quagmire, well yeah, actually Quagmire, yeah, that's a good, and then also from basically like a a square jaw.
Oh, Joe Swanson.
Yeah, or Joe Swanson. It's a square jaw, and so. But when you do this, it's like mewing. I don't know why
What
it's
does
called
mewing
mewing.
He's telling me to F you? What?
No,
Shut
no,
the
no.
hell up.
It means that he's trying to say
Shut up,
hold on,
Dad.
to show that he's like
Guys, hold on.
Wait. The pro. Let the pro speak. Yeah.
When the pro.
Yeah, he knows.
When you mew, it's like you like put your tongue at the top of your roof and you like tighten your jaw, and it gives you a jawline.
Wait,
But why is it called mewing though?
That I don't know. I don't know why it's called mewing.
That's fucking weird.
So basically, it's a non-medical term, according to this, that involves placing your tongue against the roof of your mouth to improve your jawline and facial structure. It's named after the British orthodontist John and Mike Mew,
Oh my
who promoted
God.
the technique in the 1970s as part of their practice called orthotropics. So to get like you know those model the guys that have like almost like the square jaw, but then their cheekbones come down. So basically,
It's called chisel chin.
yeah, well, they call it mewing. The mewing is the act of doing that, but obviously the kids turned it into an act of like, well, you're doing mewing. It's like, come on, get out of here, bro.
Dude, they put too much thought into this slang. Not like
My
us.
gosh,
All
that's-
that in a bag of chips is like it's coming. But now they put so much thought into Riz.
Yes.
No cap.
No cap.
No cap.
I still don't understand no cap.
I don't know. I guess that means what? No lying. No kidding.
I know it's no line.
Yeah,
but-
In the
like-
90s,
I'm
when
talking about the
you-
origins though. I don't understand the
So in-
origins of these words.
So in the 90s, when you were capping, it means that you're
saying bad word. Like
you're making fun of somebody.
Yeah, yeah.
You're,
Why
you're
you
like
capping?
basically in a what was that show with friggin' Nick Cannon? Remember where they would they would battle each other, not rapping, but they would tell like yo
The
mama.
rap. Oh, the rap battle. No.
No.
something. Yeah.
Yo mama.
Yo, it was a show
No.
called Your Mama, but
No,
no,
I don't know.
but basically when you're
Rap
like
battle or something.
I
No,
don't think
that wasn't rap battle.
It
Rap
wasn't rap
battle was on the
battle.
show.
It's these
Oh,
guys
really?
they would like make fun of each other. The cap. Well, we would call it capping. That's what it used to be called in the '90s. So when you're capping on somebody, it's not that you're lying to them because that's what it means now.
Wild and out.
There you go, wild and
Wild and
out.
out.
Yeah.
So that what they were doing in that show in the '90s, we would have called it capping.
They're capping on each other. Yeah.
They're capping on each other.
That's right.
Like they're going back and forth.
That's right.
You know, your mom is so fat. Blah 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 blah.
Oh, he's capping on your mom.
And so today the kids now just basically mean you're lying, like, or
No
you're not
cap?
lying.
No cap.
No cap, bro.
No cap.
Like, I'm not lying.
Yeah, no, I know what it means. What I'm trying to see is the origin of the word itself. Like, I don't understand. Like,
How they came up
like
with it.
mewing, you just explained it, and it makes sense, but it's so fucking deep.
Yeah.
It's so deep how they came up with it because for us, we were not that like like the opening said, we did MacGyver. By the way, it was used wrong because it wasn't like that. Oh, that was such a MacGyver. No, that wasn't for impossible. It was when you do something using little tools when you like it was basically like the positive version of Mickey Mouse in a job.
Exactly.
That's how we use MacGyver. So for that, you could tell he was
used
not
it
from the
wrong.
generation. He
not
was
from that
wrong.
yeah.
Because it wasn't impossible. That was so MacGyver. No. It was, dude. This guy made a bong out of an apple and an aluminum foil. Dude, what a fucking MacGyver.
That's a MacGyver.
That's a MacGyver
shit there.
Yeah. That's how it was used.
So the thing about cap,
We old.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so the thing about cap is that apparently the way that we understand it now, the way the kids are using it now, is actually more closer to the traditional slang of it, because apparently the original slang comes from what's called African American Vernacular English. So AAVE is actually there's actually
It's what we used to call ebonics.
yeah, it's a sociological term, right? And it says here that it's been used since the early 1900s, and it can also mean to brag or to exaggerate. So it kind of makes sense when we were saying, "Oh, you capping, bro." When we're saying, "Oh, we're capping on each other," we're basically exaggerating.
Yeah.
Kind of makes a little bit of sense now.
Yeah.
But it turns out that the word "no cap" and "cap to lie" or "no lie" is actually closer to the original slang, and that it became popular in 2017 because a rapper named Young Thug and Future released a track that was called "No Cap."
So
And once that came out, that's when everyone started using like, oh, no cap, bro.
Bet.
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 But see,
Bet means, right?
yeah, but bet makes sense
listen.
though.
Bet means listen, or bet means like yeah. It's you basically
Right?
interchange it
Yeah,
with
like you're
It's like saying
agreeing.
right, like right,
Like, yeah, right, or
bet. Yeah, you're right, right?
Dude.
or means to listen.
No.
Like you can like start a lesson. Like
No
you get-
kidding. That's our thing.
Hold
No
on.
kidding.
Well,
It's
when
like
you-
you're telling me like, oh, you want to go like in Uptown, like you want to go hang out in Uptown, and be like, yeah, bet, let's go.
You're agreeing.
Oh, there
Yeah.
you
So,
go.
but again, it's one of those things
Yeah.
that's interchangeable because, for example, you two can be talking, right?
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I can come in and say bet. and then I do my, and then I make my response. So essentially, I'm saying listen. So it also means to like listen. People use it interchangeably. It's almost like like you guys saying like when we say right, like okay, right, listen,
For reals?
yeah, for reals. So it can mean that, but it also means affirmative. Like someone says, hey, you're gonna play you're gonna play Call of Duty, and you're like, bet, I'll be there in a moment.
Or how Mexico is a huevo.
Yeah.
Yahweh.
A huevo. Yeah, man. Wow, dude. We need more slang words. Go for it, dude. More slang words. Throw us another one.
I found a list right here.
So far, we got Cap.
All right,
we got Bet.
So okay,
he's got the list though. He's got the list.
Well, before the new one, I want to go back to the old one, and then we'll do the new one. I'm sorry. So you said MacGyver was used incorrectly. We used to say MacGyver it. Remember that?
MacGyver it, yeah.
The one that caught my ear, but never heard ever. Where would clutch the pearls come from?
I never heard that before either.
What the hell does that mean?
We never
As
used
if.
it. We never
I've never
used
even-
it.
yeah.
We never used it. But I will tell you, I know it comes from the Three Stooges. And the reason,
Really?
yeah, well, because they always had the what should we call it? The Richie uppity, oh my God, kind of people that the Three Stooges would always, and they always had pearls.
Okay.
And they would always grab them like in shock and awe. So I know that's where the clutch the pearls comes from, like the whole stereotype, elite, the social elite with their pearls and their all their jewelry, and they would grab onto them like, oh my God, no, like that's where it comes from. But for that we used it, no.
Well, no one used it in the
ever
90s.
used
I've never
clutch
heard
the
it.
purse.
It's like a white person slang, because
Yeah.
it seems like it mostly
Rich
was
people.
used like when people were talking about like moral outrage, like, oh, everyone's clutching their pearls when they're essentially, to me, like everyone's having like everyone's blowing their gasket, or everyone's feeling offended.
Then again, the generation before us, like my sister and my brother, I never heard them use the term "gag me with a spoon," which is something that they did in the movies,
Right, the
80s
valley
like,
speak.
Gag me with a spoon. Oh my God! Yeah, like that's
Although
what-
everyone does say like.
Oh, that's. Oh,
but
man,
I think it's a California thing, isn't it?
It was, but
for
it was
real?
considered
like.
for real.
like-
Yeah, like for real.
Like,
Gag me
oh my
with,
God, like I told him, I didn't know what, what
Like,
to say to him,
for
so
real.
like I had to stop, and I was like, Enrique, oh my God, like, do you think he really, like, I don't know what to say. I'm tongue tied.
But that's the thing though. Some of these terms, guys, like actually like stand the test of time, and they kind of get revisited. Like my bad. Okay, that started in the 90s.
Yeah.
When we say, my bad, that's my bad, and then it went into the more modern, it went more into like the modern terms, right? Because people still say my bad, right? Do they still say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, what new stuff do people still currently say though?
Like, oh, my bad, my boy.
Yeah.
Oh, my boy.
Yeah, I would just say my bad, my fault.
Yeah, my bad,
Yeah.
my boy.
Go down the list. What's the new ones we got there?
I found a list online that says skibbity or skibbity toilet.
Mm-hmm.
There's gyat.
When would you use skibbity though? Like when would it be
Skibbity's like
used in a sentence?
That's like a show or something.
It's
right?
a meme. Like it was like this dude that's sticking his head out of a toilet. It's like some game meme or whatever.
Yeah,
and
it's a
then
game.
people would then talk about skibbity toilet. But when would you use skibbity as like in a sentence? Like would you hear your friends like actually use it like in conversation?
Yeah, like it's honestly like a joke. Like we don't really take it seriously, but like if we see something cool, we're like, oh, that's so skibbity, like as a joke.
All right, 'cause
Okay.
I was about to ground my my son.
Make you embarrass
using
yourself
that
when you go
one,
home, Robert.
No, my wife and I, we do that. Bet, no cap.
You'd be
Really?
like,
And he gets all like, oh my gosh,
you're playing Call of Duty.
Be
That's
quiet.
skibbity, bro. It's like, oh, dude, that's lame.
Oh my God, that embarrassed man.
My bad, bro. No cap.
No cap.
And then, but you gotta say, bruh. My bad,
Hey,
bro.
Yeah, don't even spell it out. Oh, just bro.
You're just like, oh, my bad, bro.
Wait, bro.
And then
it's
you gotta go,
BRO.
bruh.
Yeah, my bad, bro. It's on my wrist.
Bro. Hey, bro. It would be BRO. Now they change it to BRUH, right? Bro.
No, like
Bruh.
BRU.
No, it's more like bro.
Bruh. So like the British have always said bruv with a V at the end, right? They're like, oh, bruv. No, just chill, bruv. You mental, bruv.
Yeah, mental, bruv.
But we now turned into bruh. Bruh. Like I had a student here who like he'd come and visit from the other classroom because he used to be my student before, and then he'd always want to come back here because we talk games and whatever. So I'm in the middle of talking about like a game that I was just playing, and he goes, he's a bruh. That game's cool, bruh. And I'm like, oh, shut up.
You're like, get out.
leave. So, bruh, you kidding?
Lárgate.
You no cap? I'm like, no.
No cap.
Total. I'm going total cap. Get out.
100% cap. What else we got?
There's Riz, Rizzler, Goon, Edge.
Wait, Goon?
Okay, let's go to Goon.
Oh, God.
Goon?
I mean, that is exactly what it sounds like, though. Like, when you goon, it means, like, somebody who's, like, bad or something, right? Or somebody.
No, it's nothing like that. It's it's honestly a really bad term.
Okay.
What does it mean?
It's when you jerk off to multiple things.
Seriously?
like
Wow.
No.
My son is grounded now. I'm just kidding.
Okay, well, I'm glad you told me. I never want to use that term. And if I hear any of my students say, I'm going to be like, you need to knock it off.
Enrique.
Oh, my God.
It should be called an Enrique.
No. Shut up.
Next.
Wow, Goon. Okay.
So
Goon.
Edge.
All right.
Okay, that's also like it originated.
I know what edging is.
Well, it originated as a sex term.
Don't jump too much because it might mean something else.
Yeah,
No.
No,
It means what it means.
Well, what do you think it means?
Exactly.
Okay,
Enrique.
so
you don't
edging
finish.
began as
that's what
an
it means?
actual
Edging,
term
okay.
for sex. It's like
Yeah.
it was the idea. It's basically what tantric sex is. It's the idea of like getting yourself to the point before you actually climax
But you
and
stop.
staying in that moment.
Yeah.
And so the idea
And
is
it
that
stops.
it prolongs the pleasure. It also makes you more proficient at it. Right.
AKA blue balls.
Now,
Pretty much.
the kids
There
turn
it
it
is.
edging, turn it. It's like well, we would have called it teasing.
Yeah.
Stop
Blue
teasing
balling.
me.
Blue
Or
balling.
blue balling.
Blue balling.
So
yeah.
when you edge somebody, like, you know, you're like, if you're talking to a girl, you're basically telling her, you know, like, why are you like teasing me?
Yeah.
When guys tell it to each other, like, it's because they're making fun of each other, or whatever. Or it could. But I mean, go ahead and tell us what you know.
So when would you use edging as a?
He said that we were right.
Yeah.
Wow. So what would
So
you use it?
give us
So
context.
it's not
Tell
really
us
a-
what
like-
your friends would have said it at one point.
Why are you edging me?
Like,
Like, would you tell them, it's like, bro, why do you want
Why
me
you gotta
to? Why are
edge
you
him?
even being edged
Why you
by me,
edging-
bro?
Hey, dude, we're embarrassing
are you
your
like,
son here, man.
Because
Both
like,
of you, let him talk, dude.
that's like one way to use it, but another way people use it is like basically bragging about their edging streak and how long they've been going.
Jesus Christ.
have you seen that meme? There's this little kid,
wow.
right? There's this little kid, and another little kid tells him, man, your dick is small, and the little kid looks at him, and he goes, I'm a kid I know that.
No,
And
but
everyone
it's
starts
hilarious when he
laughing.
says it, yeah.
It's hilarious because it's actually true. It's like he's a kid. He knows that. Of course, it's small.
Yeah, but that's not what your mom
It's like,
said last
what-
night.
Next.
Beta, sigma, and alpha.
Yeah, those we.
So the sigma is the newer one. Beta and alpha, we grew up with that too. We knew that. Like
There was a supermarket called Alpha Beta when I was a kid.
What?
You guys remember Alpha Beta?
yeah, that was where you
Wait a
got all your
minute.
dildos from. I remember.
It's weird
Clearance
it's weird that Enrique went shopping with dildos with me.
Alpha Beta.
Just gotta tell you something.
That's right. I forgot.
Guess who was holding them when I paid? In his mouth. Go on next.
There's ratio.
How's that one used?
Honestly, I don't know. I never really got ratio.
So ratio basically means that you have a high count of girls. It's like saying bodies, right? I know that's probably another one that
Body
you guys,
count, you mean?
Yeah, body. Well, yeah, body count. And ratio essentially means that you have a high body count, right? You basically are like had multiple girls, and so when you talk about ratio, you're that's what you're talking about. Now,
use it
in video games, you talk. It's almost like your kill death ratio.
Yeah,
right. It's like
my ratio.
I have a higher kills than and lower death, because obviously if you have a higher death, like if I killed only 2 people in one round, but I died like 18 times, then I'm trash, right?
Yeah.
So there you go. My ratio's bad. But if your ratio's good, that means I had 18 kills, 2 deaths. That's a good ratio. Same thing with like if you're dating or hooking up, like, you know, like the ratio would be between being with a girl or edging. I have a high ratio, and then you could be like, oh yeah, edging, bro, not girls. See, that's
such a
the comeback. Yeah, you're such a beta, bro. You ain't no sigma like me.
No,
look me, I'm Ewan.
It's beta bra.
My Riz is tight.
You gotta
no
say
cap,
bra. Next.
Bruh.
There's like L. It says right here L as in L Riz or L plus ratio.
Like EL?
So L would
No,
probably
just
be
L.
Just the L?
like maybe loss. I don't. That I've never heard.
Yeah, like
Loser.
Yeah, like loser, pretty much.
Like an L on the forehead. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's even made famous in that song. Smash Mouth.
An L on a forehead.
Now, why do you
Now,
Yuki. I forgot the lyrics.
I forgot the lyrics.
So,
Now,
okay, have you ever heard the term L7 wiener? This is an 80s term.
I know L7.
Weenie.
I know L7.
Now, do me a favor.
It's a band.
Invert one of the L's. Invert it. Okay, actually flip it. And then more.
You mean like
one
this?
more. Now put it together with the L.
69.
Now what is no. Put them together. What does that make?
69.
A square.
You're a square.
So now you know the
You're
origin.
L7 weenie. Well, L7. See, that's why L7
Exactly.
weenie.
So think about it. So in the 50s, you would have been
Technically, it's a
square.
rectangle.
Okay, shut up. In the 50s, you would have been a square, right? And then in the 80s, it turned from being a square being an L7.
Yeah.
Because people were trying to make it cool, right? So you're L7, and that's where the band in the 90s came from, the L7 band.
By the way, also they used to just say you're such a, and then
Square.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dude,
but then it turned into an L on the forehead because it means loser, but it's half of a sentence with your L7.
There it is.
So and it's all connected.
And then only that when they say you're a loser and they give you I'm not an L backwards.
Yeah.
Like you're a loser.
You're a loser. It has to be with the right hand, but they do it with the left.
Next.
So there's
Suspect.
I'm pretty sure you guys know that one.
Suspicious.
Ohio.
Okay, well, explain the Ohio one. That one, because my son, my 5-year-old is always talking about wanting to go to Ohio. What the fuck is up with Ohio? No one wants to go to Ohio. Not even people that live in Ohio want to go to Ohio.
Because you want
what's going on?
Ohio.
Because like a meme came up like in 2020, 2021 called like, it was like only in Ohio, and they put like some crazy video, like something going like a world disaster or something. It was like, oh, this only happens in Ohio, and it became like a whole thing.
So it's just a random meme.
Yeah.
Only in Ohio. So
and it like blew up and like everything.
Dude, they should.
That's just like Miami.
They should just say like Montana, because there's nothing out there. They should just said that, or Delaware.
Well, you pick the most
random
bland place, and you say everything happens. So it's kind of funny, ironically, if you think about it.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of smart. I'll give the kids credit on that one, because like you pick the most boring place, and you be like, it's like being in Ohio. I mean, that's funny, because in Miami, conversely, a bunch of crap happens, and so we know that when you talk about. Well, the game,
Florida.
Did it happen in Florida? Yeah, did it happen in Florida or
Florida man? Yeah, Florida man.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Phantom tax.
Okay, we talked about that with Doyle, and
I still don't understand.
It's still confusing, but it means like when you steal somebody's it started with stealing somebody's like fries or whatever, and it's like phantom tax. But I don't know.
Right,
I don't.
My wife does that a lot.
There's this
All wives do that a lot.
streamer team called AMP, and one of the streamers is Phantom, and like if someone all share a house while streaming together, and if someone had food, the streamer Phantom would come and take their food, and online it started a thing. It was like the Phantom tax. Like if you had food, he'd come tax your food.
Okay, that makes sense.
And now people call that, and they go around and they steal your food and like Phantom tax and eat it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna use that on my toy then.
That's your wife does it. My wife.
But it's
a wife
crazy
thing.
because that's
We call it wife tax. That's what we call it.
Phantom tax.
yeah. That's
Why are you Phantom taxing me?
Yeah, phantom tax completely it went
sense.
outside of the internet circle, and like people have been using it. I mean, it's one of those that will probably die out. But then again, you never know, because some of these memes will stand the test of time.
Yeah.
And 20 years from now, when you're like our age, bro, like you're gonna be hearing these from the kids and thinking like, oh, I remember when I said that.
I wonder how that slang is going to be in the future.
Dude.
Oh my god.
0111000111111.
Yeah, you got more, man?
Right.
Yeah, there's a little bit more. Or no, that's it actually. The next one is mewing, but we already talked about that one.
We did.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy. That just in general, I know there's a lot of slang that I forgot from the 90s that like if someone brings it up now, we'd be like, oh my god. There's a lot of them that we don't like. We had mentioned off air buck. I don't remember using buck, but then you were telling me how MC Hammer used to say it. But yeah, you're right. I do remember that.
When you talk about get buck, it means like it. Yeah, I mean, like get buck means like to. I mean, I always thought it meant to like be like almost like being buff.
Yeah, that's what I thought get buck meant.
But I mean, how did they use it in that video? Because I kind of forgot.
Drunk. I got like shit faced. Basically, they're like, I got bucked last night.
Yeah,
I
and
like the shit face phrase better.
Yeah,
now,
shit face is
you know
we
what I
say,
did use, guys? I
Which is
used
still
to,
funny, too.
and maybe I used it wrong because I remember this in the 90s. I used to be like, that's bunked, bro.
Bunked. We use bunked.
We use bunked,
We
and
use
so we
bunked a
added
lot,
the ed at the end of bunk. We said bunked, and so I just assumed that it meant like
that
means that's bad.
No,
Like,
there's
that's
bunked, and then there's bunk, like bunk bed, like bunk.
Right.
That's what we used to use, bunk. I don't know. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, so according to here, bunk
buzzed.
is slang for trash, junk, or lies. Often people say debunk. That makes sense. We debunk something. Yeah. So, just like cap, no cap, like bunk meant like lie. So somebody would say that's bunk, that's a lie. Or you can say that's bunk,
that's a lie, that's a lie. Sorry.
And the intrusive thoughts just take over sometimes, don't they there, Angel?
Yes, they do.
The power of Christ compels you.
Nah, my attention span is too short. But dude, yeah, 90s slang and new slang.
I also found out another one just a few days ago that's like really bad.
What?
It's called Charizarding.
That's
Charizarding. Okay, so it's Pokemon. I know that. It's fire on your ass. Is that diarrhea? No, kidding. I don't know. What is it?
You're on fire.
Okay, so you light a girl's pubes on fire.
What?
And then you the definition says you light a girl's pubic hairs on fire and you jizz on it to put the fire out.
Oh my!
Okay, the views of the person to my right are not the views of the Ouchcast. Please do not try this at home, kids. Do not burn a female's pubes and then jizz on them in an act of emergency mercy, because that's not Charizarding. That's a felony. Knock it off. Knock it off, kids.
Wait, who has a lighter while they're having sex? Hold on, baby.
Put it up. Wait, I'm almost there. Put it up. I'm almost there. Wait.
Okay, so first of all, that would I mean,
that's almost as bad as riding the dragon.
Oh my god!
But
you guys know what riding the dragon is, right?
No, hold on. Whoa. Let's go back to this idea that you will even have think about it. There's a girl on fire in front of you, and somehow you can
fire crotch.
Somehow you can stay erect enough that you can whack one off.
That's what I just
to completion on her.
I just said.
I mean, what is what kind of derangement would you do? That's like some freaking Wild Bill stuff there. Like, it puts the lotion on the skin or gets the hose again kind of business.
Yeah. I have a list somewhere when I was writing some screenplays of like a bunch of sexual terms that are like out there, like the rusty trombone, things like that, or the blumpkin. Or the chili dog, stuff like that. Anyway, there's one that always stood out to me, which is called the Angry Dragon, or riding the Angry Dragon, which always made me laugh because I'm like, who would think of that? And then what the hell were they talking about? Which was basically when you're having sex with your partner, you have the girl on top of you, and then you're supposed to moan out your ex's name.
Okay.
And then hold on for your life and don't let her off of you.
Oh, Kelly Clarkson.
Like father, like son, the views to the man to my left are not the views of the Ouchcast podcast.
Yes, they are.
They are not.
100%.
Not at all.
100%.
Not at all. Take my name off that list.
I'm sending this to the school.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Why are you playing Buster Bunny?
I know, huh?
Yeah.
Anyway, those are fucking crazy, then.
Yeah.
And then all the 80s ones are done, right? We don't really do any of the 80s.
Yeah, no, we don't do 80s.
So, okay, no, I mean, okay.
70s,
we don't
jive turkey.
There's a lot more of 90s. I mean, let me give you some, okay? So remember, remember the show In Living Color?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
Hated it.
We would Fly Girls, right?
Fly Girls.
Remember, that's Fly.
Jennifer Lopez.
That's Fly. That sort of transcended the show. Is also. I mean, I imagine the word fly was already a slang before
1970s Superfly.
Okay,
that's where it comes from. Or
okay.
That's what I've heard that it comes from. Superfly.
But so in the 90s, it became very common to say, "Oh, that's fly," or "That's hype." Oh, that shit's hype, bro.
That shit's hype.
Like, meaning it's good, right?
So fly.
Or how about
I
yeah, I mean,
isn't that more 2000s though?
Well, it transcends, but no, it wasn't. That's a 90s thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of it came with the prominence of hip hop, right? Like a lot of black vernacular became more popular.
Get jiggy with it.
Good one. Yeah, exactly. Jiggy is a 90s term. Bling.
Cha-ching.
Bling became like to have bling became popular because remember in the late 90s, P. Diddy and all. Remember that
we don't mention P. Diddy.
Oh, in historical context, we absolutely have to because it was those type of videos. Because the battle between West and East Coast.
I'm gonna pee on you.
The battle between West and East Coast rap really was not just an ideological one, but it's a visual one. Think about the West Coast rap scene, and a lot of it was predominantly like very urban and some gang related in some ways and whatever. When you look at the East Coast rap, it was all about being flashy. Like just look at the videos with P. Diddy or with Biggie Smalls and Mace. They were very colorful, very bright, vibrant videos. They were cool videos, right? And so a lot of it, the word bling became popular because of that. So when people talk about bling, obviously they're talking about like jewelry or whatever. But they also
I know bling bling comes from like the shininess of jewelry and stuff. I mean, that sounds kind of obvious.
Don't go there. Okay, you see now that's a 90s term.
That's don't go there. That's a stupid one though.
But
Don't go there.
Don't go there.
Talk to the hand.
Talk to the hand.
Oh my God, talk to the hand.
Because the face ain't listening or something stupid like that.
Yeah. You always added something at the end.
Okay, you want another one? Peace.
Peace
in the Middle East.
They mentioned that one on the
they
on
sure
the thing.
did.
Yeah,
They sure did.
But
Peace out.
Next.
Well, let's bounce.
Let's bounce. Let's
get
roll.
out of
Let's
here.
bounce. Let's bounce.
Yeah. Or
That comes from the Gummy Bears, the cartoon. No, I'm just kidding.
Shut up. Look at you trying to start rumors.
Gummy Bears bouncing here and bouncing everywhere. Sorry.
And that's also Let's Bounce came from I believe it's a hip hop term.
It's also from the 70s.
Is it?
There was the roll bounce. They even made a movie out of it. The roll bounce.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a term, a skating term, I think, isn't it?
Okay. Well, how about snap?
Oh, that one's still used.
Snap.
That one was still
In
used.
fact,
Snap.
I still use that.
But where did it originate from? The 90s.
That's like, shit, son.
Oh, snap.
Oh, shit.
Did you guys ever watch the regular show, the cartoon?
Of course.
You probably didn't watch it, right?
JG Quinto. It's classic, man. It's
So
so
what
is it
on
called?
that one.
It was on
the regular show.
It was on Cartoon Network. And the show was like a whole ode to like 80s and 90s culture.
Can I interject?
Sure.
It's coming back. They're doing a revisit.
That's what I heard.
Yeah, Mark Hamill said that he's coming back.
That's great. I'm excited for that. Well, the thing about do you remember his show? I think it was called Closer Now.
I love
Loved
Close
it.
Enough. That show was amazing.
And now you can't find it anywhere unless you bootleg it through.
Yeah, I was gonna buy it through iTunes because they took it off Max, and then it's not available because of the whole tax write-off thing. And it's like, God damn it! Remember the episode where they were at the Santee Alleys in downtown?
Yes, I do.
That show was amazing.
Great show.
And then also the little Easter egg where the wallpaper, the orange wallpaper in the kitchen of their apartment. If you look at the shapes, it's all the characters from the regular show.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, look it up. It's pretty cool, man.
I haven't seen the show since it premiered because it came out on Max.
Close enough. It was about this young couple about our age, well, actually younger, whatever.
They're
but
like in their 30s.
Their 30s, and they have a kid, but they themselves are still kind of kid-like, like our generation.
So there's a lot of nostalgia in it. A lot of the jokes. Well, okay, just like the way you could describe regular show is that it was. The show, oftentimes the characters would fall into existential crisis, meaning like their whole world would suddenly change. Like they would, one moment they're talking about having to like fix a hole in the wall because they broke it because they're messing around too much, and they're like in their 20s, these characters, the cartoon and the regular show, and it turned from them asking for a raise into them getting a magic keyboard that somehow transports them to the moon. Yeah. It would just devolve that way. It's a crazy show.
And there was a lot of 90s references.
Yeah, 90s and 80s. Both 90s and 80s.
Yeah, there was one where they found a VCR tape, and since it wasn't rewound, it like became like a spirit.
Oh my God! Please rewind.
And it was
so the tape itself became like it was haunted and started like
attacking them and stuff. And it's all like this great. It was always
a great show.
It was always start off with a simple premise, but with a very left field ending, and it's like, what the fuck? That's why it was a great regular show.
Robert, do you watch do you watch cartoons or anything?
I mean,
and it's okay if you outgrew them, because some of us didn't.
The cartoons you guys used to watch were cable, Cartoon Network. I didn't have cable. I was more like the terrestrial TV, regular Channel 9, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck.
Disney Afternoons.
Yeah, Disney Afternoon. KTLA Channel 9.
Yeah.
Right, was it? It was Channel 9.
Yeah, Channel 9.
Power Rangers.
Channel 11.
Kick butt, you know,
So
but
you
that's-
watched everything, like you watched all of the TV stuff, like
I watched most
but
of
not the cable stuff.
Not the cable stuff.
Okay.
So you wouldn't know this sound.
Let's see.
Nick,
Well, of course.
Nickelodeon.
Actually, the Nickelodeon show I used to watch a lot was Double Dare.
Double Dare. Ah, that was a good.
So that was a Nickelodeon show, right? And
We'll come
put it
back
into
with more
channel-
Double Dare
There
after
we
this very
go.
important commercial message.
There we go, man.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill, right?
Mark Summer.
Mark Summer.
Summers.
There you go.
And then,
Mark Hamill is actually someone else.
Mark
Mark
He's an
Hamill
actor.
is the
That's
Joker
right.
guy.
Yeah.
No, Mark Hamill is the Joker.
Hamill. So Mark Hamill is who's that?
Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill is an actor from the 80s.
Oh, okay then.
But like he did, I think he was in summer school and some other stuff. But
Oh yeah. Okay, yes, I remember.
yeah,
in summer school he
was
played the
pretty-
teacher.
Yeah, he played the teacher. That's
Yeah.
Mark Hamill. And then Mark Hamill is the Joker.
The Joker.
Yeah.
And he's Luke Skywalker and Skips in regular show and a bunch of other stuff.
He's a pro. He
He's a
does
voiceover
a lot of
pro.
voice acting.
He's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But for me, he'll always be the Joker. That's
Yeah,
just like
of course. Animated
best.
Batman animated. So those are the cartoons I used to watch.
Sure.
Channel
Yeah.
11, you know.
Yeah,
But,
but that was not on Nickelodeon.
But I heard a lot of good shows on Nickelodeon.
Well, Angel, I never
A lot of
never
innuendo
outgrew.
stuff, right?
Well, yeah. But you know, like I was gonna say, like earlier, the question I asked you is because Angel and I like never outgrew that, like watching cartoons.
Nope.
Our kids just gave us like validation to continue to
Yeah.
do it. So I grew up watching with my son. We used to watch we watched a lot of Nickelodeon. Particularly, we watched. Did you ever watch Noggin? And then it turned into Nick Jr. with your young kid. I did.
It was like PBS for kids, like but like for
Okay.
Nickelodeon.
So, for example, I used to watch. Sprout.
Sprout.
Well, one of the shows on there. There are three that I want to reference. One of them was, it's Ubi. So basically, it was like,
Ubi.
think about your hand, like a handprint, right? And they'll have like these little eyes on top of them. And so essentially, it was a puppet, but without a puppet. But they were very emotive. And so, like, the theme song would always stick out like, Oobies like me,
Yeah.
Oobies like you, Oobies got a lot of big things that he's gonna do. Do. And right, so my young kid used to watch that show. So, like,
Okay.
I would watch it with him. That one, the second one that I want to reference was Lazy Town.
Lazy Town.
Lazy Town was a live action.
That's the one with the pink hair girl
Yeah.
and that other guy who passed
Dude.
away, that the villain.
Yeah.
He was great. I only saw clips of it.
Oh, wait,
like-
I've seen. Yeah, wait a minute. I've seen that one. When
Yeah, it's
The
online.
music on that dude was infectious. So at the time, me and Josie were still together, and we would watch that with our kid, and we ended up like. I remember at the time going on LimeWire to download each song because we found the songs and we ripped them. This is like such a 2000s thing to do
LimeWire, yeah.
because we went on LimeWire, we downloaded all the songs, the MP3s, and we burned them on a disc, and we would listen to that in the car. So whenever we drove with Sammy, you know, because he was like 2 or 3 years old. We would always put that CD on, and we would say it was for him. Lies. It was for us, dude, because we were singing all those songs. It was so good.
See, Isaac never got into Nickelodeon. He watched Disney, a lot of Disney.
Right.
Jake and the Neverland Pirates and stuff like that. So we never did that. And then his brothers, other PBS, right, was for them. You too, right?
Yeah. We all watched PBS,
PBS
but
Kids.
that was mostly them.
Yeah, that was
I grew
mostly
up with Disney.
Disney, yeah. So he grew up with Disney, and that. So they never got through that challenge. My nieces and nephew, which I helped raise as well, they were into Disney Junior, like Roly Poly Oly, a lot of anime stuff, things like that. So I grew up. I never really got into the new Nickelodeon. I tried playing it for Michael when we got cable a while back.
Right.
Nah, they never took.
I did actually watch PBS Kids. Now that I think of it, I did watch a bit,
Wildcats.
like Daniel Tiger.
PBS Kids, yeah.
Wildcats, yeah. So
well,
I did.
Caillou, like, I mean, that even became a
Fucking
meme.
Caillou. Don't remind me about Caillou.
Well, you know, that became a
bastard
meme
kid.
though, right? I mean, did you ever go through that when you were
Caillou?
younger?
No, I never watched Caillou.
So it would have you probably would have been like
Michael did,
6
remember?
or 7 years old, and even now people are they basically co-opted Caillou into a meme where they would take a bunch of his videos and they would put a robotic voice over him, and he instead of being good, he would be really, really bad. So my son really got into it. I would come home and he'd be on the iPad and I'm like, oh, he's watching Caillou. So I'd be like doing whatever I'm doing, like studying, and then I would listen closely and I realized that's not Caillou.
Yeah, it's like my youngest. He
goes,
watches.
Caillou, he goes, Caillou, why are you playing with that dirt dog? And goes, Caillou. Caillou, and it just repeats Caillou, Caillou, Caillou. I'm like, what are you watching, bro? Knock it off.
It's like my youngest. I caught him watching SpongeBob, but they're like with voice actors that are not. They're saying entirely different things than what SpongeBob is saying. I'm like, dude, don't watch that because it's like bad words and shit. Like then we wonder where he gets it from, you know. So it's funny. Yeah. But back to the Nickelodeon talk. Like I said, I grew up on it when I was a kid. When we had cable, I was one of the first ones to have Nickelodeon in the house. But for me, Nickelodeon will always be this. I don't know if you guys will recognize this. Let me see if it plays. For those wondering, that is, you can't do that on television.
Okay, wow. That's so funny. I used to watch the hell out of that. Why didn't I recognize that?
I have no idea. Funny thing is, as a kid, I used to love the opening. I'd be like, that's so original. But now as a grown-up, as I rewatched it to download this thing, and it's a complete ripoff of Monty Python's Flying Circus.
Yes, it is.
A complete Terry Gilliam style, which explains why I liked it. But that's you can't do that on television was the first one. That's where the slang from Nickelodeon came from because it's a Canadian show. They didn't have money when Nickelodeon first started, so they had no original content. They would just buy from different defunct stations. So they bought this little thing that was going on in Canada called You Can't Do That on Television, which was a child version of Saturday Night Live meets Monty Python. Oh, okay. That's what it was. So it wasn't that great, but for the time it was. And the big funny thing is, whenever someone on the show would say "I don't know," they would get slimed from up atop. It was this ugly pink, and then later on green slime. They would just fall on everybody. That's where Nickelodeon gets the green slime from.
No one still knows the secret recipe of that.
It was oatmeal.
It was oatmeal?
It was oatmeal. It was food colored oatmeal, and they said that it was disgusting because it was just not just the texture but the smell. Because the food coloring, to make it that color, they had to put some really nasty stuff in it, which made it stink.
So then it's literally slime.
Slime. Yeah.
So so a little bit of the history of Nickelodeon too. Just that it originally started as a educational show, right? And so they had
that went away really fast.
They had a show in 1977 is when it started, and they had a show called Pinwheel, and that's the one I remembered. I remember watching Pinwheel on cable because we had cable pretty early on. Dude, we were port 2, by the way, Robert. But I don't know, my dad. Maybe it was like selfish on his part, but I think maybe it was instinctively the way he kept us, the kids, me and my brothers, in the house was by. 1, getting cable. 2, getting video game systems. And we stayed home a lot, right? Yeah. And I was surrounded by, I lived on Gotham Street. Ironically enough, you'd think there'd be no crime, but that was actually where a lot of the gang members...
I am vengeance. Where is your night? Where is I am Gotham.
And so because of that, I stayed in a lot. So I played a lot of video games, Atari and then Nintendo later on. But I remember watching Pinwheel. Do you remember the theme song for Pinwheel?
I don't remember
Pinwheel, turning around. Yeah. Da, 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 da. Well, anyways, so we watched Pinwheel, and then later on, Double Dare.
Yeah, there we go.
Double Dare was a show. Yeah. That was a show that, we
used to do that.
Do you remember the home edition of Double Dare?
No, I don't.
No.
They had 2. They had Wet n Wild Double Dare, and then they had Super Double Dare. The home edition was a big box about, I'm going to say 20 by... maybe 25 inches.
Way, really?
It was really thick. It was about 8 inches, 10 inches thick. And what it was basically a bunch of for the Wet n Wild was a bunch of water balloons in it with some plastic contraptions.
Okay.
And then a timer and a bunch of cards. That's all it really was. And then you would go around the house and just... The Nickelodeon board games were the worst. They were such a con. I've talked about Finders Keepers already, where I bought the game Finders Keepers Home Edition, and it was just these little boxes that said living room, kitchen, this and that.
Oh my gosh.
So you would open it up, and there was nothing in the box. There were just cardboard boxes, and there was a list that says, okay, now go around your house and find 4 keys, 2... napkins and stuff.
You could have just read that in a book.
So you just had to get stuff from around your house to fill it up. So that was pointless. It was pointless. And Double Dare was kind of the same thing, but at least it was a little more fun because they gave you a little more things.
Double Dare, we used
frisbee and stuff like that.
I remember Double Dare. My cousins and I, when we would be at my grandmother's house for the summer, we'd play Double Dare. We had a playpen in the backyard, and we would make the obstacles. Even in the yard. So we would put the flags in certain places. We'd put the mud on the end of the slide because that would be the end, and it was just the sand, the sandbox, put the flag in the sandbox.
Yeah.
So that Double Dare was just an awesome show, man. We used to messed up so many plants my grandmother planted.
There's another show that I used to like as a kid. This was later on. I mean, Nickelodeon has always had a lot of phases. They had Nicktoons, Nick All Night, Nick Jr. They had all these different ones that are not around anymore. But do you guys remember this one? Which later Disney bought this one, so it's now Disney, but originally was Nickelodeon. Let me see. No?
Of course. Doug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
so
remember?
Doug
Killer
started in
Tofu?
1991,
Yep.
and it was the first original Nickelodeon Nicktoon.
Yeah.
So they're the ones who funded it. They're the ones who made it. Yeah, you're right. Later on, it became Disney.
Disney.
So now you can see newer episodes, but you can't see the old ones.
You can't see the old ones.
Which sucks because
no
the old
way.
ones were the best
Yeah,
ones.
the best ones were the old ones.
Yeah.
So
And,
those are-
fun fact, Patty Mayonnaise was also the actress that plays Patty Mayonnaise was in Orange is the New Black as the guru inmate, the like new age inmate. It's her. And if you go back and watch Orange is the New Black, that's Patty Mayonnaise's voice. She's not acting. That's her fucking regular voice.
Really?
So to that I say,
So that's the thing for me. Like, it's the music that's I always remember of these shows.
Yeah.
Although funny enough, like for some reason I didn't remember the song that you just played
Yeah.
for You Can't Do That on television. You know what's also interesting, Angel? Like as I was doing like some light research here throughout the morning, I don't see You Can't Do That on television listed here at all in any of the histories.
that is funny.
It's weird. Like I mean, mind you, it's not a comprehensive history and research that I've done,
Yeah.
but the few articles that I've seen, when they do a timeline, they usually just start with Pinwheel, then they go all the way from 1977 to 1986 Double Dare.
You know
and
what?
in between, they kind of skip You Can't Do That on television.
I think it has a lot to do with it wasn't original content of theirs.
Okay.
And also to this day, it's like a Canadian thing. So I think that might be why it's not really included, but
And yet
it's
the
a big part. The
slime-
slime comes from You Can't Do That on television.
Right, and then Double Dare just double down on
Double
it.
down. No pun intended.
Ba-doom-tsh.
Okay, I don't have it up. so
That's okay. I did it.
Okay.
So
how about this one?
Listen, you idiot.
Ren and Stimpy.
Ren and Stimpy.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, there you go. Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah, classic, dude. I used to love that one.
Rugrats.
Yeah. Oh, how about?
You lie. You lie.
That's Invader Zim. Love Invader Zim.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Invaders.
I don't re-
No?
So Invader Zim was cool.
Jonan Vasquez,
Jonan
dude.
Vasquez was
Which you showed me. You introduced me to Jonan Vasquez.
So do you remember Hot Topic?
Yeah.
Did you ever go? Did
Yeah.
you ever like? Do you remember? I don't. Dude, man, Hot Topic used to be so cool.
Wait, is
It used to
it
be
with the
amazing, dude.
food? No.
No, it was the mall. It was a mall shop where you can go get all your alternative clothes. Like
No.
like that.
I know. I'm saying, but
Oh,
the
sorry.
cartoon. The cartoon.
Oh no, I know what you're talking about. The food one is.
I seen a lot of more of those figures
It-
with
the-
the,
the cr-
fries with the mustache and he looks
Oh,
like a devil.
Oh, Aqua Teen Hunger
That's
Force?
Aqua
That's
Teen
what it
Hunger.
is?
Yeah, that's the adult show.
Swim. We'll do another show on that
That's a
one.
different network.
Yeah.
That's Cartoon Network.
Cartoon Network.
But
Okay.
but no,
Rest in peace.
oh right, is it that?
Yeah,
already?
they just ended it. I read
Completely
that.
dead.
Yeah.
Really?
No, it's dead.
Oh,
I mean,
man, it's
they're
dead.
still running stuff, but like original content stuff, no, it's dead.
That's interesting. Okay, well we'll do some research.
All right, rewind.
Talk about it.
All right.
So back to
Back to
Hot Topic.
Nickelodeon.
Well, hold on. The
Yeah,
point of Hot Topic was in there you could find a lot of alternative stuff. So,
Yeah.
for example, think of The Crow, the movie The Crow.
That's
I'm
right.
sure you watched
I
it,
remember-
loved
yeah.
it.
Heck
so
yeah.
the way you could read the comic of The Crow, because it originated from a comic book, you could buy it at Hot Topic, because Hot Topic was very good at the time of taking like subculture
Mm-hmm.
stuff and making it mainstream by selling it there at the mall. So you had comic books from Slave Labor Comics, which
Yeah.
is where Jonan Vasquez did one called Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Classic. And Smee.
And Smee was a follow-up because that character
yeah.
originated in
In
Johnny the
Homicidal
Homicidal Maniac.
Maniac,
And
yeah.
so what that comic was about was this character, Johnny, who he would kill, but the way he was drawn was very like charming. And but yeah, I mean he did some horrific stuff, but he would get very polemic about it. He'd do like there was all these, it was really funny and sarcastic, but it was
Very
also
dark humor. Very dark humor.
But it was also interesting.
But it was great.
And
It's
then
up there
from
with
that-
Lenore with me.
Right.
Remember Lenore?
Oh yeah. Lenore was she was like an alternative, like kind of goth girl, right?
Yeah, I always confuse her. I don't know if she was a goth girl or like a live voodoo doll. for me.
Maybe, yeah.
But
I think that might be the one, yeah.
But I think it was good.
Is Hot Topic still the same?
No,
It's
not at
not,
all.
right?
Not
It's
at
not.
all.
So
Not at
it's
all.
not just me. Yeah, I've noticed.
No,
It's
they have a lot of
changed so
anime.
much.
They have a lot of anime, but that's the thing about Hot Topics. It's always for the generation that's out now.
Oh, okay, then,
So
yeah.
it always changes
So
because
no more Spencers.
yeah, it's not.
It really, actually, Hot Topic is more Spencer's now than anything. You can still go.
Yeah, I've noticed
You
that.
can still get your band shirts, and you can still get like.
But it's not as much as
stuff. But it's more like a costume shop than it is a representation of a culture that no longer exists. That's the thing of it. The culture that they try to represent is not real anymore.
It's not alternative rock and stuff like that, grunge.
And so you know how like right now there's this kind of people like saying, "Oh, I'm a goth girl," but in reality,
you're not.
they're like
You're an
just
anime chick.
Exactly. Thank you. They're e-girls is what they are. E-girls is the term for these like they happen to look like cartoon characters of what a
pointy
witch
ears.
would look.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. They say a lot, senpai.
To finish the point of of Hot Topic and Jonan Vasquez, the reason I brought that up was because Jonan Vasquez was tapped to make Johnny Homicidal Maniac into a cartoon, but he didn't want to. Change the character at all.
He didn't want to tone it down either.
And so then Nickelodeon said, "Well, can you come up with an idea of something that we can do?" And so he introduced Invader Zim, which was this like alien who, in essence, is kind of like Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. He has an underground base in which he's trying to subvert all of human life, which is what Johnny does. And then the character Gurr, just the best character ever created. Great show.
By the way, the opening where you heard "I love that show." That was Gurr.
That was Gurr.
That's what I put on there. By the way,
I love that show. Rick Simmons, I think, is the voice actor on that one.
Who was also one of the musicians on the show.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that. He did some of the music on the show. Okay. So like a lot of the stuff that you hear, it's him doing the voice and then doing the music as well.
The
Gurr was great. I love it. It was cool, like man. I'm gonna sing the Doom Doom song, and then you're like and he would do it for like hours and hours. It's fucking hilarious. He was the best character. He really was.
I love tacos.
Yeah. Burrito. And then so then later on we have I already wasn't listening at this point. I mean, I wasn't watching Nickelodeon at this point. I was a little older, but my wife grew up on this and she introduced my son to it, and then I watched it this year. Matter of fact, I watched it for the first time, which is
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Really? I never saw Good Burger until this year when Good Burger 2 came out, and watched them both. I see the charm of the first one. I thought it was great. The second one wasn't bad. It wasn't as close as the first one.
It's one of those where it shouldn't exist.
It shouldn't have kept it with the first one. That's it. And then I had a Good Burger at Arby's. Really good stuff. Too bad it was only limited edition, but it was really good.
They had a Good Burger at Arby's?
It was really good.
There's no more Arby's either, huh?
There are. There's one in Buena Park.
Oh, there is.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, right outside of the studio, there Jollibee's that's there now used to be the Arby's like a few years ago. Yeah, and so sad. I was so sad when I like the
Arby's.
Jollies. Jollies is great, but I don't go there as much as I used to go to Arby's, dude. When I would leave,
Arby's was a shit.
Arby's had some good stuff.
I don't remember when the last time I had an Arby's.
I drove down to Buena Park with the family to have the Good Burger, and it came with like a strawberry milkshake.
Did they greet you like that? Good. Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Welcome to Arby's, home of the Good Burger.
No, it was more like, thank you for calling to Arby's. I'm going to take your order.
See, I would have gotten into it, dude.
I know, dude. Get into character, man.
I would have gotten into it.
Hey, man. Thank you. Welcome to Good Burger.
I would have been like, welcome to Arby's, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
Can you imagine doing that all day?
I would just play this.
Welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order?
See, I would change it into Arby's in the beginning, just because you got to keep it on brand, and then do the home of the Good Burger, because it literally is the home of the Good Burger.
It was the home of the Good Burger, and it was great.
Well, just like right now, currently Wendy's doing the
Krusty Krab.
Yeah, the Krusty Krab.
Okay, I had it. No,
see, there we go.
No,
it wasn't good. See?
No, it was good. It's good. But there's nothing special about it.
Just the hype about it.
Now, Pioneer Chicken is also doing a Krusty Krab chicken burger, and I gotta go try that. The one in LA, not the one in Bell Gardens, but the one in LA is doing it. I gotta go try that, and I'll check it out. I don't know, but I was disappointed with the Krusty Krab. There was nothing special about it. I love Wendy's. It was a good burger. But Wendy's has way better burgers than that. Well, like the pretzel burger's amazing.
Think about it for a second though. Like if you want to stay true to a Krusty Krab burger,
it's got to be crab meat.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's going to be so gross, because what kind of meat are you going to get under the ocean, right?
That's a secret. No one knows the secret.
Well, dude, the Krusty Krab is a crab trap. It's a lobster trap. So obviously that's the secret sauce.
So he's cannibalizing his family. That's why
there's none left.
That's why his wife is a whale, or his daughter's a whale, because because he's killed like his whole family to turn him into.
Oh, so that's what it's about.
Make me money.
The secret.
I've never seen
The
SpongeBob.
secret sauce that
You've never
freaking
seen
Plankton.
SpongeBob?
No, like I said, I never
It's
got
been
to see
forever.
these shows, man.
So one of the running jokes in that is that there's a secret recipe to the crab.
Right,
The
that-
Krabby
that's what I
Patty
know. That
secret.
everyone's trying to get the secret recipe. Right?
Well, particularly Plankton.
One that little
Yeah.
bug,
That-
whatever
sea
it is.
plankton, yeah.
And so the secret is like it's people, or in this case, it's Crab's family.
Crab's family, yeah.
Because it's made at crab meat. That's what I'm. That's
Wait,
my
no,
theory.
did they really
It's
say it, or
100%.
you just
It's
put it
always,
together?
It's always hinted at, but you know that's
Is
what
it
it is.
really?
No, it's hinted at.
Because I thought I'm making this up right now. I thought
No.
this was me making this up right now.
No, there's two. I
I was very proud of myself. You're killing me.
There's two theories that have been around forever. Where they're always saying that that's why it's the shape of a crab trap. The restaurant is the shape of a crab trap because it's a crab trap. That's why you never see nothing but fish, because fish eat crab, like dead carcasses.
Except the owner.
Yeah, and he's the only one who's around, and he's super money grubby, and he just cares about that. And he keeps that recipe under lock and key, like it's Fort Knox, like it's really really bad.
Yeah.
So it's always been hinted. Unfortunately, the creator of the show has passed away, so,
so we're
can't-
never gonna
we're never
know.
going to know if it's the truth or not. But that's the rumor. The other one that was confirmed was the reason why all these sea creatures can talk is because of nuclear waste. That's why they're not normal, because it's Bikini Bottom, right? Where did they test the nuclear bombs? The islands of Bikini, the Bikini Atoll.
Oh,
So there's the connection to Godzilla and all that, because it's like that's where they had
So
the
that's why
nuclear
they-
tests and
okay,
all that.
okay.
Back in the 50s and 60s, and they would drop the bombs in the water. Well, Bikini Bottom is right above Bikini Atoll, and that's why SpongeBob is sentient and is so giddy and happy and weird.
So let me read you some interesting, like just really fast, like quick AI research I got about the crab. So according to the creator Steven Hillenberg, he always intended the Krabby Patty to be meat free, and then the animator, one of the animators, Mr. Waller, confirmed that it contains no meat or animal products. However, the recipe that Nickelodeon put online at some point, it included frozen imitation crab meat. Okay.
Wow.
So a show writer, Mr. Lawrence, said that the show's writers
Dead
were
body.
not allowed to depict fish as food. So essentially, like the overall theory is that Mr. Crab is so protective of his secret formula that that he created like the secret ingredient as a marketing ploy to keep Plankton from focusing on the chum bucket, because he was always afraid of the competition. So in other words, he's playing a mind game. But honestly, dude, I like to think that the Krabby Patty is like his family cannibalized, and that's why all the fish are digging
I'm
it.
sticking to that theory. I'm sticking to that theory. And let's see, we're running out of time here. So here's one that I don't know, but I have to play it because it was so strange. I mean, there's a lot of Nick tunes that we can go through, but here's the last one that I'm gonna talk about, because we already talked about Rugrats before and everything else. I gotta do this one because it's so weird, and it's also one of my wife's favorite, which is, let me see if you guys know that.
Feline, canine, little cat dog, cat dog, cat dog.
No?
It's right there in the name of the song. Come on.
Feline, canine, little cat dog, cat dog.
Cat dog.
Cat dog.
Yeah, cat dog.
Alone in the world, a little cat dog.
It's a
Enrique,
cat and it's a dog.
Phil Robert, and
Is that the one where it's a cat and it's a dog in the same body?
Yeah. Can you
So,
imagine how
I
they
want to know how they
shit
think
and
of
poop?
shit, dude.
Like,
Is
They
it the
throw
cat
up.
that poops up, or is it the dog that poops
well,
up?
they poop into each other's stomach and it comes out their mouths. I mean, that's really no
So does it
solution
one
to
way or
this
the
thing,
other?
right?
All right, yeah, that's the way
So
I
that
always
means
see
the
it.
cat is like puking up dog poop, and the dog is puking up cat poop. And so you have to
So
ask
poor
your question,
cat-
who has it the worst?
The cat. The big old turds from the dog.
Yeah, because if you think
Cats do
about
little poops.
Did they show that on the cartoon?
They should.
they should. But I think just like the Krabby Patty meat, it will remain a mystery.
You'd go to that pop up, huh?
No. That would be a
There'd
hard
be a
no.
sausage.
That would be a hard. That would be a hard no.
That'd be a hard no. Yeah, there's a lot of other shows. Rugrats, of course, which are they're doing a live action Rugrats. I can't believe that.
Yeah, no. Okay, so I know that we were talking cartoons, but just for me, like the quintessential, and that's hard to say because there's so many good shows, but I will always remember The Adventures of Pete and Pete, and I know that it's not the most famous show, but for me, Adventures of Pete and Pete was such a phenomenal show. in it, because of Pete, The Adventures of Pete and Pete, it was a live action about these two brothers named Pete and Pete. They lived in a kind of surreal town, and it was live action. Let me rephrase that. Let me say that again. They had just a cast of characters that kind of, and they got into weird kind of like situations. Anyways, that show introduced me to good music.
Yeah, that show had, from you introduced me to that.
That show had great,
that soundtrack was amazing.
So it's like REM was on there, the Flaming Lips was on there. They even had, I mean, dude, they had like freaking the dude from B-52s in there, and they had so many good like references to music, and the music itself was made by there was a band called Miracle Legion, who at the time they were contractually not allowed to be called Miracle Legion, so they ended up forming a band called Polaris. And just for the show. And so when you watch the opening track of the show, it's actually the band Miracle Legion as Polaris playing that song, and all the music that you hear throughout it was made by that band Polaris. Mark Mulcahy is
the incidental.
Yeah,
incidental music was.
Is that what that's the reference? Incidental music
incidental
is just
music.
okay. I didn't know that.
Music, yeah.
Okay, you learned something new here.
Yeah. So which I never watched The Adventures of Pete and Pete. My wife did. She was the first one who told me about it. But again, it's like it's the cat dog era, Good Burger era. So I wasn't into Nickelodeon anymore at that time. But she told me about it. She's like, "Oh, you'll like it. It's kind of up your alley." And I never got into it. But then you were the second person to tell me about it, and then you were telling me about the music. And you know me and music.
I have the first season on DVD. The second season is a little bit more expensive. I need to get it, but if you want, I'll lend them to you so you can digitize them. Because I know that you have like a little library. That would be cool.
I'll do that. I'll digitize, and then I'll put it up there for us.
It's a good show that you can't watch anywhere. That's the reality.
It's kind of like Malcolm in the Middle in the fact that it has great music, but you can't watch it anywhere anymore because of the music.
Yeah.
They released the first season on DVD, and then after that, they got into licensing issues, and they never followed up.
So you're never. Oh man, there's a show on BBC, and it happens a lot in the BBC where they use a lot of licensed music for their shows because they can, because they're like it's all like something have to do with state money. But once they put them on TV or whatever, it eventually gets taken out because they can.
The show Spaced is a prime example. Great soundtrack, great show. But it's not available as much, or it can't be digitally because of the music.
So tell me the DVD release, because I have the
DVD release.
Does that have the original music?
It has most of it except for the A-Team song, that remix A-Team song.
Actually, no, it did have
the first print does, the second print does.
Yeah, no, in my print it has, because
my print has
you're talking about the episode where they go to the rave.
Yeah,
and at the end when he's yes, great.
Well, you have the first publication, so do I. The second publication, and after that, it's not on there no more.
My brother got it signed by all the actors.
No.
Yeah, so I have the box at home, and it has all the actors there. They signed it. It's great. So another show that I was going to reference, it's a show called Skins.
I love Skins,
and that had amazing music. Dude, but now you can't hear a lot of that music. It's good music.
The season finale, the first season, when Tony gets hit, and then they do that musical part. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
Right there, man. Every single time. And I showed that show to my mom, and she because it doesn't happen often, but I gasp at that part of the scene when it happens, and then the musical portion, I was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And it was so impactful for me, no pun intended, that my mom was like, what'd you see? What the heck was that? Because I went like that. Like, oh no, it's a show. And I explained it, and she's like, okay, I want to watch it. And then she watches, like, oh my God, this thing's genius. It's a great show.
Great show.
I tried showing it to my wife. She didn't like it. It's a little too violent and vulgar, I guess, for her taste.
Because so the whole show Skins is it's basically it follows a group of kids, like probably they're more like late teenagers about to become adults because they're all in college. Most 16, of them are in college or
16, 17.
Like they're seniors or they're going to college, but it's about they party, they drink, they do drugs. It's all very casual.
Sex, drug, rock and roll.
They talk about it so casual. And mind you, their lives are very destructive. There's a lot of the whole show revolves around the self-destruction that these kids go through.
Yeah.
But you can also through that see the bonds that they form. And mind you, it feels very authentic because I mean, as a kid, I remember like a lot of stuff was very familiar, and I see that with a bunch of the students here as well at my school that are like in the emotional disorder kind of like side of things. Like their lives are very chaotic and violent like that, and for them, it's like that's a Monday morning, you know. Yeah. And so that show kind of captures that. But on top of it,
very natural.
Yeah. And so the music on it though was great, man.
Amazing.
Lots
music.
of really good bands, lots of good music, and they just unfortunately when you watch it now, like for example on Hulu, only some of the music is on there. Not all.
Yeah, they cut a bunch of it out. So.
Kind of like with Smallville for me. Smallville, they had
Love that
a
show.
lot of good music.
It had a lot of indie music that was great.
Yeah.
and it's still on the good thing is it's still on the
I have
digital.
the Blu-ray,
I have
set.
I have the DVDs
About
and the
the
Blu-ray.
box set.
I have the whole Blu-ray box set,
dude.
but I also have it digitally. It still has the music.
So here's the
except for
interesting
like one or two.
America is a lot better about, at least American studios are a lot better about making longer contractual contracts for music, right? So that oftentimes shows when they go into using a licensed music, it's almost in perpetuity. Not always, but more often than not. And or conversely, they'll make a show and consciously not use music because because of rights they're thinking in the future. But you see that a lot. Like there's a lot of shows that 20 years ago now you can still hear the original music on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I remember seeing Smallville for the first time when they started, and
Somebody save me.
And then when they started playing music throughout the episode, Weezer.
Yeah, Weezer.
Dude, this is gonna be a good show.
There's a lot of bands on there.
To think that it lasted 10 seasons, man,
And he never put on the fucking suit.
I know, because he didn't want to.
Now he does.
Actually, you see it. Dude, I remember getting the DVD. I slow motion that part.
when he opens it up. And
No, when he flies out of the Fortress of Solitude, I'm like, yep, I see full tights. Or like when he's flying up and he's putting on the with the cape.
The last shot is him at the Daily Planet, and
yeah, when he's up in the roof,
he opens the thing and it has the
that's
logo,
the original Brandon Roth suit.
Yeah,
but yeah, it kind of sucks that they didn't really show him like the full.
So
tights.
remind me, it was both him, but it was also just the culture at the time, like frowning on the
Suits.
comic aspect of comics.
Yeah,
Or, you know,
in general, it was a total like everyone like all the cameos by other superheroes. They never actually had a suit.
because they would consciously say in these like production meetings or whatever that they didn't want to be Batman from the 1960s.
Yeah.
That's what ruined it.
Also,
for people for a long
the
time.
original runners of the show said no capes, no suits.
Yeah,
That was
no flights, no tights.
flights, no flights, no tights. That
And
was
back then he could say it and brag about it, right?
Yeah.
Where now people be like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Because you can't say that with your chest all out because you're gonna get clowned. But back then, when you say it, everyone would be like, "Yeah."
Enrique,
and they all start clapping.
You down to clown?
Hey, 90s reference. High five,
hey,
brother.
high five.
Keep
Bring
it
it
together.
back.
It's a circle. It's a
It's a
straight
circle.
line.
Yeah, no, Smallville was a great show, dude.
It's an awesome show.
Yeah, but there's a lot of shows out there that, like I said, like they
and they have a podcast now too.
Yeah, they have a podcast.
It's funny.
Well, Michael Rosenbaum has a great one called Inside of You, which is about mental health.
Yeah.
like which I'm a big fan of course, because I'm totally on the side of you and mental health and all that. But he also does the Smallville one, and that's where Tom Welling says like now he's willing to do it. It's like, well, fuck you, dude. Your year's over.
Well, they were going to do a
the funny
comic,
part
right?
is, yeah,
They're
they
gonna animated
did a comic.
series.
They're trying to get the animated series done for the continuation. They did a comic. They did a season 11
Really?
comic. Yeah,
I
they
never-
did.
oh, I gotta check
They did
that
that,
out.
and then also Smallville was also touched again on the Crisis on Infinite Earths Green Arrow universe, the Arrowverse.
It spread it out different.
Tom Welling comes out, but the story is basically that Clark gave up his powers in order to marry Lois,
And be
he's just
human.
Yeah, that's when what's
so he
his name?
came out, and you're like, oh, come on, like it was like even.
But you
worse
know
than
what?
I put in the-
You know what people were saying that, and I know which episode you're talking about. It's because it came out in that Lewis and Clark episode, right? Or
I think so.
It was so then like. Yeah, he's in the farm. He's old. You can see the gray hair, and he gave up his power because, like, I guess Lex Luthor gives him the takes out the kryptonite, and he's like, huh, and he grabs it like nothing.
Yeah.
So then people were saying he didn't give up his power. If you zoom in to his watch, he's wearing the blue kryptonite on his watch.
Oh, really?
And the blue kryptonite takes away the power
of the green kryptonite.
So I'm going to tell you, the
Yeah.
show actually that it came on was part of the whole, like he was saying, the
Crisis.
Crisis.
Yes.
Lewis and Clark wasn't included in that, wasn't included because it hadn't come out yet. It was part of I think it was actually part of the Supergirl one because the shows that were included at the time was
Supergirl was Superman.
Arrow. It was Arrow, Flash, the
Black Lightning was also
Black Lightning. No, actually, no, they didn't.
Then
They
Brad-
were,
they did
he-
later
they were
on.
included. They were he was included, but to some degree. But the show wasn't
exactly.
But yeah, so
and Brandon Roth did.
Well, he
did
came back
two
as
characters,
Superman.
right?
He did two. He did Adam.
That's the one
He
I'm
did
trying to.
Adam, and he
The
did
Legends of Tomorrow or something.
Legends of Tomorrow. Yeah,
The
League
Legends of Tomorrow. What
no,
is it?
Legend. No, you're right.
Legends of Tomorrow, and then I forget the other one.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Oh,
but
Batwoman.
Full disclosure, I saw Arrow. I did get into it up to season, I think 4 or 5, and then I stopped. Not because I didn't like it. It's just I didn't have time.
I
never saw any of the stuff. I never saw Flash. I never saw Supergirl.
My son's into
I never
Flash
saw
right now.
any of that stuff.
Yeah, my son is so into Flash right now.
It's so on my to-do list, but right now I'm on a Western phase, and I'm watching a bunch of Western stuff.
Okay.
And I just finished Deadwood and
Dude,
Are you going to go into like modern westerns after that? Modern, like more like neo western.
Oh yeah, Tulsa King.
For Deadwood, you should play the drinking game for every time they say cocksucker.
I've been drunk by episode
My
1.
wife and I, we tried that, dude. We got already buzzed within the 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Deadwood is an awesome show, man, by the way.
It's great. It wasn't what I expected.
Then it went to the movie, right?
The movie
they canceled
was good.
it.
The movie was good. No, the creator didn't want to continue.
He didn't want to continue the show, and then they made the movie afterwards to end it, right?
He actually had a handshake deal with one of the executive producers at HBO to do 2 movies to end it. And he shook his hand, but right afterwards, the guy got canceled for a bunch of behind-the-scenes shit that he was doing. So there was no contract in place, and HBO was like, well, we don't know. He never told us anything and never wrote nothing down. And they were like, fuck. So it took so long to do the movie because HBO was like, we want to do it whenever you're ready, but at that point,
dude, I hope they do the same thing. I know it's an old show, Westworld.
Westworld,
dude.
I never saw it.
That one, my gosh, it's a hardcore. It ended well,
yeah,
but it's one of those where it ends, but it's like we want more.
Yeah,
like it could continue.
Deadwood, I think, was a perfect ending for the show.
Yeah, well, yeah, they all.
Right now, I'm also watching Tulsa Kings.
Tulsa Kings, I'm caught up with that one.
Did you see the last episode?
Man. Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty obvious what's going to happen.
Sad, dude. It was sad, and I was like,
no spoilers, bro.
Yeah. No. But it's a tearjerker for sure, man. It is.
Tulsa's a good show.
Yeah,
I love westerns, man. I'm a cowboy at heart. I'm a closet redneck.
Well, Tulsa's not really a west. Is it? No,
it's a new
mafia, Western mafia.
It's a Western mafia. It is a Western show. It's kind of like a Yellowstone in that sense, which of course makes sense because it's the same people, right?
Okay,
I think it's the same creator.
Well, actually, no, yeah, that's true. The dude from Tron, he's the bartender guy, right? And the guy from Knocked Up.
Yeah,
the dude from Tron. Are you referencing Bruce Boxleitner?
The one from Tron,
the newer one,
Tron Legacy. Yeah, I think it's
Tron
okay,
Legacy.
Okay.
The one that plays the son.
Yeah,
he's in that Tulsa King show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't watched the second season yet. I watched the first season. I loved it. But honestly, I kind of I need to go back and rewatch it.
Yeah, that's one thing. Most of the shows start off slow as heck, and you're like, nah, I don't want to continue. But then you just put in the time, and then it starts getting interesting, getting familiar with the characters.
What makes you wish that he would always play a bad guy? You should have done it a long time ago, right?
Who?
What's his name?
Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
He's not a bad guy really in this one. If you
no.
Well, in the first one, I mean, he is, but isn't.
Garrett
Think about
Hedlund.
it.
Garrett Hedlund. And you know what's funny? I did not know that was him until you just said it.
Oh, really? Oh, there you go. See,
he's okay. I mean, let's be honest. He's a bad guy, but with a conscience. But no, he's a bad guy.
Yeah,
I mean, dude,
he's a bad guy.
He moves in like the first episode. He takes over somebody's weed business.
Yeah.
Although, mind you, arguably he made it better and he cut the people in. But I mean, come on.
But he's making everyone pay. Yeah,
he's a bad guy.
He's a bad guy, but it's like the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
He's trying. I guess he's trying to change in a way because he's trying to win back his family, especially with his daughter, which he did. And it's good. And it's just like he wants to change, but he still has that anger of being locked up for 25 years. And
then getting fucking exiled.
And then now at the point where it's at, where he's made a change, and now he's like, all right, everything's good, but now they're trying to take it away. He's kind of like pissed off more.
Up next, I'm finally gonna get my wife to sit down and watch Yellowstone. We saw we saw the first episode, and I got hooked, but we didn't have Peacock at the time.
Yeah,
and now I'm like, nope, we're doing it. We're watching Yellowstone.
It's a good. Yellowstone's another good show.
I loved it. I think it got a little bit more soap opera-ish in the last season, but dude, like the 1888.
You told me.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done those.
No, are you kidding me? No, whoa.
I don't think so, dude. I mean, all right, actually, you know what? Okay, get me wrong. The one with the girl where
1888.
What's his name? The country singer.
Yeah, it's the one. It's the
he plays a great grandfather.
Right? Well, the one who founded the estate of Yellowstone.
Okay, so yeah, that one, yeah. The next one, when they're older and
Oh, the 1928.
Harrison Ford's on it.
Harrison Ford.
That's
Yeah.
actually good too. That's
Really?
good too.
I got to give it another chance.
I think I'm
But
probably
it's cool.
gonna,
I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
I believe I'm probably gonna enjoy the prequels more than the.
I'm going to tell you why you'll enjoy. Well, okay. So
I love
1928 could conceive, because they haven't done a second season yet, could become more soap opera ish, the direction it's going, because it ends in a way where that could be. But the first one, 1880, is incredibly historical because it basically takes the idea of the Oregon Trail, right? And all the struggles, and it really humanizes it.
Great cast.
Because the one thing that I never understood was, why did people think it was so treacherous to go from Texas to Oregon? Why did they write it as? But now when you watch that show, dude, just crossing the river
that
and
part.
how so many people suffered because of it, then you realize, oh, that makes sense.
Speaking of which, Apple TV is making an Oregon Trail movie or show.
I'm with it,
and it's based on the video game, and
there's a snake in my boot.
Yeah, it's going to be a comedy action movie.
Oh, okay. No, never mind. I was excited for a second there.
No.
But it could be fun.
But on that note, Bass Reeves on Paramount Plus, highly recommend.
Okay, well, and it's kind of it's from the
Bass
Yellowstone,
Reeves.
like it's from the Yellowstone family, but
it's
really
not. It's been in Yellowstone. They mentioned Bass Reeves, I think, or something like that, and it's by the same production crew and all that.
Yeah,
it's like Black Lightning with Arrow, where it's like part of it, but it's not.
The guy who made the show is still the same guy. I forget what the name of the showrunner of all of the shows are.
Yeah, Tulsa King and that guy. They're all the same guy.
Yeah. But you know what? Let me just to go back to Apple TV. I talked about it before, but I have to say it again. For All Mankind on Apple TV.
I started watching it.
Is such a. Do you have Apple TV,
Yes.
Robert?
Yes, I do.
Watch For All Mankind.
For All Mankind.
It's basically a dramatization of the space race between Russia
and an alternate.
I think you mentioned that before. Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And I did start watching it. Great, but I got sidetracked.
It's like kind of like the what if.
Exactly.
Right.
And dude, it just as it gets close.
What's it called?
For All Mankind.
For All Mankind.
And if you're on there as well on Amazon Prime, if you have it, also The Man in High Castle, or is it Hulu?
I tried that one.
That's Amazon Prime.
I tried that one. Yeah, that one's good.
That's a good alternate history. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah, so that's a good one. But I gotta watch more shows.
There's a lot of shows out there compared to now. It's just a lot of shows.
When we were kids, we had many choices.
We had
now
to wait a week for the next
Jesus
episode.
Christ,
They're trying to bring that back too, you know.
Yeah, I don't like it. I like just binging. Binging is better. But yeah,
is that a 90s word?
That's a 2000 word.
2000.
Well, actually, no. You know what? It is a 90s word. To binge and purge.
There we go.
Binge and purge, which is eat a lot and then throw up.
I binged Jack in the Box.
I binged and then I purged.
Yeah.
Anything to add?
Yo, mama.
Not much, man.
Isaac, anything to add? Any other slang before we go?
Ben?
No. The slang.
Yeah.
There's another one I forgot. Crash out.
Crash out. What's that?
It's like you over exaggerate about something, and like just like, you know, when you were making fun about number 7 at the game.
Yeah.
Like what he did, that's crashing out.
When
he started throwing all the stuff
funny.
around.
That's funny.
Crashing out.
So, good times, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Good
and
times.
Until next time, guys, remember,
you've reached your limit on talking. Shut the fuck up.